Welcome to Just Curious Media. This is Zen Dog Training, a show dedicated to helping people train the dogs they love. I'm Jason Connell.
And I'm Gordon Fontaine.
Gordon, I'm excited to be back today for another exciting episode. And this title, very interesting, very thought-provoking, and that is The Silent Observer.
That's right, the silent observer. It's one of these techniques that as trainers we do naturally, but we often don't share this technique with our clients enough. And I want to bring it to light.
I love it. I love that we're doing it on the podcast. This is great. So what is it exactly?
The silent observer is a technique where we intensely watch our dog and watch what they're doing, but we are purposely quiet.
Okay.
And so I want to say you're very interactive and focused with your dog. It's not like you're quiet and on your phone, but we're watching our dog and we're refraining from just talking too much and saying too much.
So that's interesting. So you're in the home, you're watching your dog, focused, not distracted by something else, but just taking in the information, almost just seeing how they act in the environment.
That's right. That's right. Try to see how their minds work and try not to interrupt things and change things with your words or actions to see what would your dog do if they thought they were alone.
Got it. Yeah. Some people might just use a Ring camera.
But in other episodes, we've talked about all the different ways that at Zen Dog Training, we teach people how to act and interact with their dog.
Right.
So the most basic is positive reinforcement. We call it asking or requesting, but it's enthusiastically rewarding good behaviors. It's praise and identifying good behavior. Yes, what a good boy. And you sound jolly and happy and enthusiastic, which is different than the guiding or directing them. So there's techniques we call let's go when you're on a walk and the light turns green and somebody tries to wave you and your dog wants to sniff and you've got to pull them along and say, let's go, let's go. And it's kind of like an order saying, move it, but it's not interrupting or stopping them. And then we can't forget to mention the other little things. You know, we do shunishment where we act hurt or disappointed and we take our attention away on purpose. And we also work with helping dogs cope with their fears and phobias with jolly talk and sounding confident. But the silent observer gets missed.
Yeah. I've never heard of it before, so I missed it.
The silent observer is this idea that you want to see how your dog is going to act in a certain situation so that you can inform yourself as to what their tendencies might be and to where they might need more guidance or more training.
And I'm assuming while you're observing, if they cross a certain line, you have to step in, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, there's only so much allowing them to chew the electrical wire that you're going to do.
Exactly. I think he might shock himself. No, I get it. So you're just seeing what they would do. Like, are they going to go in that corner? What are they doing there? How long would you suggest this goes on, this silent observing?
I think we need to do way more of it in general. Like when I'm on a walk with a client, they're just like talk, 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 talk. And the dog isn't getting any connection between the sounds meaning something.
Talk is cheap. And, you know, and we're podcasters, but I mean, too many words and I get it. A dog's going to tune it out like people do in one ear out the other. So you're absolutely right. Over talking, they're at a different frequency now.
That's right. So the big punchline to dog training, if we want to get scientific here, is that your sounds and your words have to be associated with an action or a consequence.
Yeah.
So if you say, yes, good boy all the time, but you never follow through with a treat, hey, your dog might not understand what that means. More realistically, you say, stop it. But my clients look at their dog and point. Well, that sound of isn't associated with any action except for more words. And so, as we've covered in previous episodes, interrupting unwanted behavior has to be a sound connected with the act of stopping them.
Do you see your clients understanding this silent observer role when you train them or work with them?
I think it's most helpful for the type of clients we call helicopter parents.
Yes.
And so there's definitely a type of client that fall into the trap of what we consider overtraining.
Okay.
And so it's talk, blah, 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 blah. And there's a time like when your dog is feeling nervous about a truck rolling by, it's not a bad idea to tell them it's okay. And you can use some words there to be like, I'm not worried. But if you're just constantly talking to them, there isn't a connection between a sound and a word that connects to an action, and they could learn to sort of ignore you.
Yeah. And also dogs get fatigued. You can't overtrain them. We get fatigued as people.
The other day, the new puppy picked up some mulch, and I just watched her mouth for a second, and then she spit it out. I was like, well, okay. I didn't have to be like, immediately. It was mulch. It wasn't something terribly gross.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I had to be like, the entire time.
Yeah.
I chose a path. And the silent observer, I think it helps my clients choose a path. Is this a time to say, and just take it out of their mouth? Or is this a time to just distract them, call them to you? What a good dog. And then they just drop the mulch and focus on you. And you don't have to like waste when you could have just distracted and refocused.
I really love this title and just the concept of the episode, The Silent Observer. It's so zen, and we should probably be more silent observers in our own lives.
The more listening we do, the better. But it is a reminder that you can just watch and listen and observe and then be more strategic about what training option you choose.
Yeah, I love it. I really do. Because we all tend to maybe be a little bit more hands-on, especially with puppies. And sometimes they're just taking in the world, figuring stuff out. Like your dog, Helly, realizes mulch isn't really that edible.
So it creates more learning opportunities and also more space for your dog to sort of explore and feel like they're on their own.
Yeah.
We've talked about this in previous episodes with the leashes tight on a walk. The dog may feel that you're controlling the entire walk. And so we walk with the leash purposely loose so that I can see what choices they're making. Are they going to step off the curb? Are they going to try to eat that rabbit poop? And the silent observer falls into this category of just watching, observing, and then deciding what training option to take.
Yeah. It probably really helps with their self-confidence and their independence.
I'd like to think so. I really do.
Gordon, this is really fantastic. Is there anything else we want to leave the audience with before we sign off?
Yeah, a good way to bring this home is I often see this with clients that are perhaps doing the training on their own. And so I had a visit with one of my trainers in training about a month ago, and we rang the doorbell, and then we could hear blah, 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 talk. And then we're sitting outside for a while before they even opened the door. And I looked to my trainer, Pete, and I said, I think this is a case of overtraining. They're training too much. And they were so focused on the positive reinforcement and the talk. So they finally got the dog in a sit, finally opened the door. We waited outside. It seemed forever. And then as soon as the door opened, the dog broke the sit and jumped on us. And they're blah, blah, blah. Everything was just words, talk. And so in this case, for example, I don't want my guests to wait after they ring the doorbell. So we usually teach managing the situation, putting an indoor leash on. If you're stepping on that indoor leash, we can ignore the puppy when you throw the door open. Then you can greet your visitors without any concern. And so you're training by ignoring.
Yeah.
You're training by having the situation under control as the first step. And that's one of the punchlines to our training.
Absolutely, Gordon. And in that instance, you two were really silent observers. You were
Yeah,
stuck outside waiting. Now, the
That's
pressure of a client of yours, I'm sure it's, Gordon's here. I got the dogs going crazy. I'm
That's
sure
right.
that, everything is escalating in their mind. But
Agreed.
you nailed it with the leash. That's well covered in our previous episodes.
It is. It falls into that, like, I want to do positive reinforcement, and it's just all talk, word for word. And we don't realize that since dogs really learn through actions and consequences, the focus needs to be not on your words, but on the actions and the results and the consequences. So more focus on practical, tactical than just talking.
But at least you guys knew what you were going to work with on that session.
I think we got a lot
things
done.
to delve into. Well, that is fantastic, Gordon. Really, I love the subject, the silent observer. I think it's something that people can really win with. The dogs can really gain their independence, self-confidence, and you're on your way to having a Zen dog. So please check out zendogtraining.net for wonderful information, comic books, videos, etc. And also go to Just Curious Media for all the other shows we produce. Gordon, until next time, great job.
Thank you, Jason.